Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Ambition Driven Power, TEQ Kale, and how good she is in DBZ Dokkan Battle at 79% in the potential system, but more importantly after her Extreme Z Awakening. So Kale and Caulifla both look really good. They both seem like very good derivatives of the Strength Kale and TEQ Caulifla. So it really feels like really good kind of similar designed units to them. They're not as good in certain ways, but they also are equally as good in a lot of other ways. So it's just one of those situations. This Kale is a super tech type lead of key plus 3 HP attack and defense of 120%. Greatly raises attack for one turn. Permanently, and raises defense overall. That's really good. So giving us some really solid capabilities. Then, in terms of passive, attack and defense of 260%. Universe 6 or Pepe Gals category characters, 2 key attack and defense of 40%. Pure Sands category characters, 20% extra attack and defense. So she's a 60% support for a strong Pepe Gals Pure Sands Universe 6 team, which I think is very nice. When there's an ally whose name is Caulifla on the team, she gets defense of 160%, great chance of guarding all attacks, launches an additional super, and then when there's an ally whose name includes Caulifla attacking the same turn, she has guaranteed guard. For one turn from the character's entry, she will launch an additional super, and then when attacking with 12 or more key, attacking defense of 120% up. After performing 6 or more attacks in battle, will launch an additional attack. There's a great chance of going super. So another unit that has very good build. Definitely some 2 additionals baked in there, allowing her to scale up pretty well. Her defense doesn't scale at a super high rate, because she only has raising defense. She doesn't have greatly raising defense, but it still scales at a decent pace. And with the amount of super attacks she fires, especially alongside Caulifla, she looks very good. Very good. So what I would build her is majority crit. She can scale her attack pretty well. Doing 3 attacks of 12, 10 million is pretty good. And so having her kind of do so is very important. Same lineage, same warrior race, battlefield diva, solid support, warriors universe 6, tournament power, and sharing the limit are her link sets, and they're pretty good link sets overall. I would say they're fairly solid, consistent, they do a good job. I think as well she's very good when you look at linking, because they tied kind of to that team. From a support perspective, from having a Caulifla perspective. So generally speaking, these links are pretty good. They'll work decent enough. Tournament power is also fairly universal. Same warrior race, same lineage, so she's got a good link set for any kind of USS Saiyan. On the friendship, Pepe Gals, Pure Sands, Rapid Growth, Supermasters, Tournament Participants, Universe 6 and Universal Survival Saga are her categories, and honestly they work decently. It's a decent array and selection, especially considering it's an untransformed unit. So there's no Super Saiyan 2, anything like that, powerful comeback, anything transformation boost, nothing like that you can apply to this unit. In terms of overall strength, look, guard is obviously super duper helpful. It is conditional, but it's fairly easy condition to fulfill. You will want to run her alongside a Caulifla. It's not like a surprise to anyone. Then we have her ability to scale. She and Caulifla, they scale very well, of course. The stacking attack helps her scale offensively. The stacking defense helps her scale defensively. Not at a super fast rate, but it does help her to scale, which I think is very important. Then, of course, she has pretty good link set, like I mentioned. Fairly nice, fairly consistent link set that I think does a lot of really good work on the teams that she's on. And then, obviously, she has 60% support, which is pretty good. I think it helps out her teams a lot, because there's not a lot of outright supports on those teams, which I think is good. You've got Vardos, which is great. You've got Champa. To have another option like this, I think is, probably a great option to have personally, just because of the overall strength of that team, and how much it helps to have a really strong kind of support unit on the team. All in all, she does really well. Build wise, damage wise, everything like that, she does a good job. Obviously with guard alone, if a boss is critting, she's not going to maybe have a good time. The boss could definitely crit her, she could then end up taking too much damage. It's not immortality having a million defense and having guard. Also, obviously they start out very low. You would have seen them starting out with like 200k. In Khalifa's case, this is not a problem, because she has evasion, she can evade that damage. But in Kale's case, not quite so straightforward. She has to really deal with a lot going on. She has to deal with guard not being as fully functional as one might want it to be. She does have to kind of move around these things. So it's just one of those things that you're going to have to kind of make sure you're managing across the board with her as a character. All in all, I think she's very, very good. I really like her a lot. I think she's a fantastic unit, and I really suggest people go and summon for her. I think you'll have a really, really, really good time. She's a World Tournament unit. She's fairly accessible as well. Players summon on World Tournament banners. You can get her as mission rewards right now at the 59th World Tournament. If you don't, she'll probably come back at some point as mission rewards. So there's always a way to get World Tournament units, which is part of the reason why they're so nice to have. My definite suggestion would be to take a look and make sure that you participate in that and benefit from that. But yeah, overall, really, really nice unit. I'm very, very impressed with her, and I think for me, she's an incredibly reliable unit that has a great build, simple build, good teams to be on. She suits her team. She's good floating support, stacking support, and helps her team out tremendously, especially if you look at things like Festival of Battles. To have now 2 further stackers with a lot of great utility for units like Int Hit is great.